having Afro-realism, I'm making sure that, of course, that I'm letting you know something means something, but you really truly won't know. It's for you to anticipate, of course, just like how we're using lights, the setting, the people's names. Me is honestly about, of course, the main character, but me is also about you who are watching this right now. This is about you. It's not just about somebody, you know?
We used a lot of the cool, cold tones in the beginning because that was the main feeling of the character. And later, we tried to bring a lot of the warm essence out of the overall atmosphere because we're filming in a church. So we had a lot of light to fill up. We had a lot of room to fill up with light. And this is the biggest, well, I would say one of the biggest areas, main areas we filmed in. So it's interesting how we could bounce and shape and diffuse the light. Because it was such a big area, we used a lot of 6x6 frames. We also had some half grid on the frames to diffuse some light. We had some 2Ks, some 20, some 650 watts, and yeah, we shined it through, but then we used some more particular light on the faces of the characters because the DP, you know, he wanted things a certain way, and we executed, and it came out exactly how the entire group imagined. So I definitely want to say thanks to Amir, thanks to Jalen, thanks for everybody who helped on this project because it was definitely a team effort. It was a lot of creativity, but it was also a lot of like experimenting on just trying things. I think we're a new company, but I think we're going to be one of the best because we look at things differently. We know the rules, we know the laws, we know how people do things because we've done our work, we've done our due diligence, but we apply things a little differently. I think we're going to bring a lot of new ideas to the culture.
There's a internal conflict of him wanting to be back with her, wanting to have someone that took care of him in a way that no other person can. A mother's touch, a mother's love is just different in that way. The external conflict that he has in this film is that he's fighting with another person that's his own consciousness, and his own conscious is battling him and telling him to do the right thing and to make his mother proud. And in that fight to find out what it is that'll make his mom proud, that's where we see a lot of the tension going back and forth in this film.
One of my
Yeah,
favorite shots was the
definitely.
fact that we had a match shot where the shot was located on Ferris to reveal Jade, but how we reveal him is behind his back, meaning where if you looked in other shots before, you don't see him there, but you only see him once when Ferris reveals Jade, which means that he is not real, this is just his mind. Ferris, if you really think about it, Jade is in the back of Ferris's head. For him turning around, it's just letting him know something, or just letting him be aware that his conscience is here to save him. So.
With Junaid, you know, it's cool to see just him being the conscious, you know, over Ferris. So one thing that I did notice with this internal conflict is, you know, it's a fight for myself too. Playing the character of Junaid, it was a fight to not only be within Ferris, but to make sure, you know, we don't lose Ferris, because Ferris is me, and we're one in each other. So it's this brotherhood that we have, you know, that you have to make sure you don't lose that. And, you know, the internal almost bleeds into the external, right? Because we're seeing it live. We're seeing Ferris, you know, in these vulnerable moments. And it's powerful, you know, for Junaid to make these decisions, like, you know, be in this moment. Like, I got you, brother.
The tone of the mood is optimistic and it's bleak. Now, it's at first, well, the whole film is optimistic. First of all, it takes place at the church. So since it takes place at the church, from the beginning of the film, you see a portrait hanging off the wall. And the portrait obviously shows you the 12 disciples. But if you see that it's hanging down, it shows you that he's losing faith in his religion. So yes, it's pessimistic at first, but then we get the chance to see the climax go into just the resolution. And what you see is just the self-awareness of who he is and who he believes in. So pretty much it just gives you faith, and that's just the tone. The tone is just optimistic. These characters they're phenomenal. I mean, any good actor can take these characters and they can do anything. And they always tell me that, man, you're such a great director. But I always tell them, I'm only as good as a director as good as the actors. So when we did the rehearsals, that is one of the things that make us, or anyone as an actor, is not even choosing, but learning what is the internal and external conflicts. Even though the script is only 5 pages, the characters are so broad because it's so much internally going on with them. So much conflict that's going on with them. As far as Ferris, his mother just died, so he's hopeless. He's distraught. He's in despair. So through this whole film, you get the chance to actually see that, and not just see it, but to feel it, because you see it through lighting. And that's just one of the things that we use. Especially, I'm a big man when it comes to directing. Emotional realism and Afro emotional realism, just to depict moods and tonalities of the characters. So that's just one of the things that I always just focus on, internal and external. What's next from Blue Jay Production Company is a new phase of cinematography, a new generation of cinematographers who offer a different aesthetic in the film world. As you can tell, emotional realism is not just a conveying thing in just our company, but every company. Not every company, but just in cinematography. We see that colors play a lot now in cinematography. So when it comes to expressing ideas and creating ideas, everything has been done under the sun. But the main question is, how can we make this different? And that is exactly what we're focusing on. How can we make things different, original, and creative in our own images? So that's what's coming next. Peace out.